You know, one of the primary purposes of government is public safety, and part of public safety is the correction system. And it's interesting history, and I'll touch on just a little bit of it. But Cape Bernard in 1907, observing some of the conditions of Oklahomans who were kept in Kansas prisons at the time, how horrible that it was, became very much involved and came back to Oklahoma and persuaded lawmakers to adopt laws governing the compulsory education, child labor, but establishing a state's juvenile justice system. And part of that also was the construction of the first state prison that still stands in McAllister. We're not using it, but it still stands in McAllister as Oklahoma State Penitentiary. Whenever we look at the budget for DOC, it is primarily funded by the state of Oklahoma. Matter of fact, it's funded by 91% of all of their money comes from state taxpayer dollars. In FY20, their total budget was $613.3 million, and we were able to do an increase that year of about 9.9%. Well, we all know what happened last year with the pandemic, and so we had to cut $24.5 million from their budget, allowing them an appropriations last year of a little over $531 million. So they fall within the top 12. Matter of fact, they're the 5th largest appropriated state agency. And as I mentioned in opening remarks, that they are funded by 91% appropriations, about 9% from the revolving funds. And those revolving funds would be like some of their canteens, or it could be the community sentencing revolving fund, or the OCI, the industries fund. But again, 91% from taxpayer dollars come into the system. So Oklahoma incarcerates inmates in 16 state prisons, 2 private prisons, 7 community correction centers, and 2 contracted halfway houses, and 1 contracted county jail. I'm oftentimes asked the question, when's the last time that we built a prison in Oklahoma? And the answer is in 1995. It's built in Alva. It's the Bill Johnson Correctional Center. It is a medium security prison specializing in the rehabilitation of drug users and of drug offenders, and we need that. People in Oklahoma have been very interested in criminal justice reform. State Question 780, passed in 2016, reclassified nonviolent drug and theft-related crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. And then, of course, the legislature in 2018, by House Bill 2286, established administrative and aging prisoner parole, where the governor can go in and the Pardon and Parole Board can act. And then in 2019, House Bill 1269 applied the provisions of State Question 780 retroactively and allowed for the governor to accelerate a single-stage commutation docket. So the number of inmates in Oklahoma prisons have decreased approximately 12% from 2017 to 2020, and the number of DOC receptions decreased approximately 36% during that same time. If I go back to an earlier comment where that they are funded mainly by state appropriations, that includes our medical as well. Now, we're thankful to have OU as our partner, and they provide a variety of inpatient, outpatient services at zero cost to DOC. But whenever you are arrested and you go behind the wall, you lose the majority of any federal benefits, and the state does not get to enjoy those benefits either. And so we are left with a bill for their medical expense. We were able a couple of years ago to address the hepatitis C problem within our prison system. It found it very interesting to me that one treatment is for one inmate is $29,203. And we've been able to treat over 400. It still remains a priority with us within our budget. We were also, over the last 2 fiscal years, able to give a raise to over 3,000 employees that work for DOC $2 an hour. Now, we break that down. If we have state-operated prisons, and so what does it cost per day? What's the per diem? And so for minimum security, it's $48.19. The largest part of that's payroll at about $30.51. Food for those inmates, about $2.29 a day at that level. Medium security is about $52.35. And food for the day is about $2.61. Payroll is about $27. Maximum is $90.48. And payroll runs about $64.45. The food's a little bit more at $4.12 because they're all served individually. Here's some things about private prisons. Well, we had to have private prisons at a certain time to contract out to ease some of the overcrowding. But just to give you a difference, if we contract for a medium security private prison where it costs the state $52.35 a day to operate, they're able to operate at $45.77 a day. And a maximum security the state operates is $90.48 a day, whereas we can contract that out for $59.66 a day. So our purpose is to provide a humane environment where we keep the public safe, but also realize it is a huge expense to the state of Oklahoma. Thank you very much.